Hi, you guys, and welcome to another edition of Curl and Drums. Today is October 1st, 2014, and I am finished with the Fresh Food Challenge. Happy dance, right? Oh, Lord have mercy. So, this challenge was real. This challenge, it was really a challenge for me. I had some slip ups, some things happened. We're gonna go into it, and it's not gonna be 48 minutes, I promise. Like my last video, it's a little awkward. Sorry about that, but we're going to keep moving. So, okay, whew. I think the best way to do this is to go into um, each week and talk about what worked, what did not work, and what I learned and what I'll be changing moving forward if there are any changes, right? Okay. Week one. Right out the gate, I had a barbecue that I was supposed to go to. I really didn't go to because, I did go and I got some corn, you know. It was terrible. It wasn't terrible, but it was just I felt so guilty because I couldn't eat anything and or from that particular place, and I think that set the tone for the week. So I was just hungry. I was hungry and I was miserable. I was like, if I go and get a chicken sandwich, nobody's really going to know, you know. I even put up one of the vegan groups on Facebook. I was like, I don't know why, but I'm having a craving for a steak, and I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have put that on there. But oh well, I'm not taking it back. I did feel like I wanted a steak with A1 and some asparagus. I was there on week one. I was just cranky for no reason. I was just really cranky. So I had to work through that a little bit. Now, and then I think as I started to, I didn't even want to cook. Like I was so upset. I can't explain why I was upset, but I was. I was like, why? I had bought all this food, this quinoa and this, and I did the video, and I was just excited, but I didn't feel like cooking. And then I did, and so I started to get into my own flow. I think it's just a realization that I couldn't have any dairy, and I couldn't have any GMOs, and I couldn't have any meat, which I've been without for a while, and eggs, and things that as a vegetarian I'm used to eating. I couldn't have, and I'm like, okay, we'll make it work. So I did. And so week one was kind of rough, but it was okay. It was all right. Week two. Now, week one was talking about, the body detox. So that was pretty, it was really a detox. I felt detoxified. I lost weight. I did eat, but it wasn't as filling as what I would normally fix for myself. But week two was the mind detox, and with my maca root and my spirulina, and I take those, but those really aren't like supplements. So I really did like week two. I felt more okay. I can do this. It's possible, right? It's possible. So I went in, and so far so good. Yeah, I was excited about week two. The videos were out. I had some, things were okay a little bit there with the Ustream. I think I had like 2 or 3 videos. It was weird because the signal kept dropping, but that was okay. And then week three was eating for illness, and continuing the detox protocol, and that was good too. I talked about my niece and nephew and their struggle with autism, as well as if you have cancer, or I believe the other one was diabetes. And I kept saying, and I'm going to keep saying it, that we want quick fixes, we want easy answers. It's not about, nothing in life is easy. Hair growth is not easy. Well, it just happens, right? It's not something you have to do to make it grow. You just have to take care of it. You have to treated right, right? But when you think about it, everything in life has a price. And if you want a quick fix, you can get it, but that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a quick fix, and it's not going to be what you really need. And in talking about eating for illness, the foods that I put up for the first week of the Fresh Food Challenge, or the foods that they were talking about that have all these great benefits for diabetes and cancer and autism and and it goes into epilepsy and all these other different ailments. So yeah, food is your medicine, or at least it should be, for the healing of nations, right? Okay, week 4. Everything was going good until week 4. Week 4, oh my gosh. It was so real last week. Because I was playing catch up, right? Wait a minute. So did I have, I think, hold on, I gotta see if I was missing 2 weeks of that Ustream or just one. So I think though, going into the 4th week, it was a 4th week. Going to the 4th week, the weekend of the 3rd. Yes, that's what happened. Because Wellbeing Wednesday on the 3rd week took like 4,000 minutes to upload on YouTube. And we were entering in our complex here, because we have Wi-Fi and internet and direct connect. So normally there's not an issue with anything. But that weekend, when I was trying to upload the podcast and all these different things, oh my gosh, I couldn't upload anything. It was insane. It took forever, and because I had deleted Facebook off my phone, I could try to go on and post a message, but nothing would come up. So I was just miserable. I didn't want to go nowhere. I'm like, this crap sucks. So, or it stinks rather. So week 4 was terrible. And not only that, I was so busy, and I had, I was there. I had a little moment. Okay, I went to go get, it's called bubble tea. It's just a really nice tea with tapioca pearls at the bottom of the tea. And so I went to go get some, and it wasn't organic, so I kind of didn't, I didn't know, but I was in the dumps. I was so upset, like, why is this not working? It's supposed to work. And I just needed a break, so I wound up getting the tea. And so yeah, week 4 was sincere. And there are a few things that actually did happen on week 4, but we don't know each other that well. So when we get to know each other, I can share these things with you. But all in all, it wasn't too bad. But it wasn't too bad. But I did. Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle, and then also because Ustream, I couldn't stream anything. So that made me even more frustrated. And then I was playing catch up with what happened towards the end of last week. I wasn't able to go to certain meetings, I had Skype calls and all this stuff that I had to go back and do. And so I was a little bit behind my schedule, my professional and personal schedule. So that really was frustrating. So yeah. But in week 4 was about exercise. Now, I did exercise, like, I walked 3.97 miles in one day. I did a little, you could call it a challenge, okay? We'll call it a challenge, but it was real. And yeah, so I'll move over. Okay, so yeah, it was really a good experience for me. I'm trying to look at my little list here, what I have. Okay, what I want to talk about is my menses. And that's like really personal. Oh well. It's a health and wellness channel. If you don't like it, you can skip the next 2 minutes and go to the other topics. But for my menses, because I was hoping to get a really different outcome with my menstrual cycle, to see if my body would react differently, or if it would operate differently on my menses. And I have to say, hands down, my body was like, versus it being an atomic bomb. It was just like a flutter. It was very, it wasn't light, but it was very short. It was I was actually running errands when it came on. I was like, whoa. I was like, what? Excuse me? And because normally I get like a nuclear blast as a warning, like cramps and, the whole water balloon syndrome and, all this stuff. It's weird. Um, but I didn't get, well, I got some of that, but I didn't get a lot of the cramping and the bad mood. Like I was cracking jokes and laughing the whole time. Like so for me that was kind of cool. So and I actually could walk and do stuff. If you've ever had very painful menses, it's like you're sitting on the floor crying for no reason and you don't know what's going on. You're like, oh my god, my life sucks, and you can't get up. And even if you want to, you can't. So I did see an amazing difference with my menstrual cycle, and so I'll probably be keeping a lot of what I had going on this month just as a regular with the chickpeas. And I had a lot of lentils and a lot of chickpeas, and I know that those two items, when you eat them, they assist with the reduction of cramps. And I can attest to that firsthand, coming from someone that had some severe issues. Like 2 weeks my cycle was on up until 3 days. Yeah, let's just say you might want to add those things to your diet. Now, I want to say, well, I want to make mention of what I learned in being a commitment to um, food being my nutritional source. Now, I do my podcast, the Curl and Drums podcast. I try to get it out at 8 a.m. but stuff just happens to me. Sorry, my bracelet is like singing. I try to get it out at 8 in the morning and I'm up. But for some reason, the devil is working against me, y'all. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to stick to. And if you don't like it, you don't have to like it. Amen. But, I go through stuff. And so the first 3 or 4 of my podcasts, I would just say the first 2 at least, I talked about synthetic biology. Now, SMO, synthetically modified organisms. If you haven't listened to the podcast, you might want to take a moment and get familiar, because I did talk about synthetically modified organisms and their part in our organic food supply. Not only that, but streptomycin being sprayed on our fruits and berries. I don't know too much about the veggies, but it might just happen. But with streptomycin being an antibiotic, that kind of brings a little bit of concern, considering the fact that we've made a big stink about antibiotics in meat, but not in our fruits and our produce. So, that is something that we have to really examine and determine, as far as, okay, what's going on, this, that, and all that good stuff. But when I was doing research for biohacking, synbio, these different terms, I came across a lot of information with regards to nutrition and basically modifying DNA and creating different cultures to create microbes, nutrient sources like B12 and things of that sort. And the only reason why I even got into that research and into that information was because a friend of mine on Facebook, actually the gentleman that suggested the Fresh Food Challenge, Kenya Laster, he said, Carolyn, I'm needing something for energy. And I said, oh, B12. And I gave him this particular brand, and I was like, I love it. It's awesome. And when I called this organization and I started asking questions just to verify if it was suitable for vegans, because it noted on its packaging that it was suitable for vegetarians. So I thought everything was good to go. And then they said, well, oh no, it's from this and it's isolated. And I'm like, wait a minute. Now I just did the research on these key words. Fermentation. Fermentation is not what you're thinking. Like, oh, this is, kombucha. No. No, that's cool. This is different. Okay, so because of that, um, I kind of went on a little bit of a quest there, and I found some research and I put it into my podcast. You can go on curlandrums.com. I think it's the first or second one that I talked about both of them, and I will be releasing the remainder hour of content for those, so you can get the full story, not just pieces and parts. Because the first 20 minutes was what I had initially up, but I'll put the hour and 30 minutes and something up as well. So why do I say all this? It's a good segue into my next topic, talking about titles. Now, people say, I'm a vegan, I'm a vegetarian, and there's nothing wrong. Like, that is so awesome. It's really cool. But I don't know if I want to be a vegan and have to supplement my diet with items that are synthetically modified, or you getting nutrients that are a product of synthetic biology. I don't know that that's something that I want to do. Yeah, everyone says cow's milk is terrible and meat is bad, but when I'm looking at what are the readily available sources for B12, that's where the finger's pointing. So, and for me, one day I like to have children, so B12 is incredibly important for the formation and for the health of an unborn child. Even when the child is born, B12 is needed and necessary. So those are a few things to take notice of. Now, with that being said, especially with regards to B12 can be found in sea veggies. Now, the issue that they were making mention of, Dr. Cousins and a few other doctors that I made mention of on my podcast, they were saying that they don't know if the B12, because we have B12 within our bodies, small amounts, right? But they don't know if that actually further depletes the B12 or does it boost it. So maybe there's some additional research that I didn't come across that points to B12 being that ultimate source for B12. But I don't want to get mine from synthetic biology. No, thank you. So, I talk about food being the medicine, but like I said, for this month, I haven't had much, I haven't had any of my supplements. I haven't taken one. Not even during my menses. It was like, it wasn't pain-free, okay? I did have some cramps or whatever, but all I did was made some cumin. Okay, you guys, so hopefully I can combine the two videos. I had a call and it just jacked up everything, so I'm hoping that I can redo it, and I can just combine this one with the one that I just did, and it'll be perfect. So what I was saying was, I made a cup of cumin tea. I took a teaspoon of cumin, of fresh cumin seed, and hot water, and I let it steep for like 5 to 10 minutes, and then I just added a little bit of agave nectar. Honey tastes okay with it, but agave nectar has a better taste with the cumin tea, and I had that, and it was really, really well. Excuse me. So going forward, new day, brand new day. Am I gonna revert? Well, I don't know. I kind of like the diet that I have, but I think I'll just go. I used to do an 80-20 diet where it was 80% fruits, veggies, nuts, and seeds, and 20% meat. And that worked out pretty well. My problem was like that dairy and too much dairy and too much sweets, because I have a sweet tooth. I love pastries. Like, it's so good. So I think going forward, I'll probably do a 90-95 diet. 90-95 to 5 to 10% meat and dairy. So I'll try to still do more grains, but with what I found out this month, and with the streptomycin and the fermented synthetic biology manufactured supplements, I don't think that's something I'm interested in putting in my body. It's just like this whole concept of vegan cheese. You see the vegan cheese, like, oh yeah, it's vegan, but you're looking at the title. You're not looking at what they're doing to get it. Like there's this one company, I think they're in San Francisco. I think it's San Francisco, and they are taking milk culture and then they're turning it. They're biohacking in order to make it a special milk that people that are vegans can enjoy. That, you know what? If it's going to take all of that, you all can keep it. I don't want it. Sorry. And I'm not really concerned if I upset anybody, because it's not meant to upset anybody. Do your own research. If you don't believe me, you take a week of your life and research it, and then see what you come up with. And if you come up with the same thing, then great. And if you still decide to live your life a certain way, I think that being a vegetarian and a vegan is a beautiful thing. But I can say that I'm not going to wear a title and have nutritional deficiencies. I don't think that's not sexy, no matter how you look at it. I'm not really big into titles, but I like eating healthy. And I think more of the push should be towards, like I put on my last podcast about saving seed, and about we need to start implementing gardens and growing our own foods, fruits, veggies, these sorts of things, even cereal grains, because a lot of them are being genetically modified, and that in turn does something far worse to the body. So will I go back to eating meat? Maybe. So if you see me on Facebook and I put up a lamb chop with some potatoes and asparagus, just say, oh, that's Carolyn's 10%. I might go back to doing that. I don't really feel a type of way, because that was the diet I had up until March of this year. So I might do the vegan thing once, like every quarter or something, for a month. I might do that. I have no problem doing it. But with what I found out, when you learn better, you do better. And that vegan synbio cheese is not for me. Sorry, I can't cut that. It don't taste good. It doesn't taste right. I'd rather do something in moderation and supplement and have my pumpkin seeds and my almonds and my almond milk and all these other different things than to be deficient in something, and then I still wind up in the hospital. So that's my little spiel on it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you all did the challenge, even if it's for a week, sometimes you're not able to get through everything. Let me know how it worked out. If you got any more energy, if your skin got clearer, if your hair grew some, let me know. But hope you guys are having an amazing day. I keep looking outside because it is so gorgeous in Atlanta today. Oh my gosh. So Carolyn is going outside to, live her life. And, take just have a good day, you guys. If you have any questions, kd@curlandrums.com. The Curlin Drums podcast airs it's uploaded on Sundays. Trying to get it closer to 8 a.m. as possible, but I know that for me the last few weeks I've had tech issues and just it's been terrible. So hopefully we can get that consistent and everything going well. And I will be launching one of my products. A lot of research, a lot of time went into this because I want it to be something that actually works. Amen. So I will be providing more information about that on my Facebook page, and I guess I'll do a short little snippet here. And thank you guys so much for your support, and many blessings.